Dave, how much longer are you going to be doing this?
So long, I can't stop.
Dave.
Do it with me.
I'm leaving.
Have it your way. I know I'm late, but it's okay.
No, we don't have time to wait. Oh.
We're gonna have the best time.
Dave, you have to change.
You remember when you got all mad cause I threw out that flyer?
That was not a flyer, I told you.
Yes, it was.
No, it was a save the date.
The same thing, it's gonna end up on a fridge either way.
Fine.
This weekend you're gonna dance with me.
Yes, of course, I love you, but we really gotta go right now.
Fine, it was fun while it lasted.
Yo, major shout out for the homie Blake, man. An Unfiltered Bachelor podcast. That's what's up, man. Money Blake Weather. If you could just tell people that you love the show, I'm gonna tell people right now that you fucking awesome, man. What's up, bro? It's Gator.
And what is going on, everybody? It is your boy Blake, Money Blake Weather. Welcome to another episode, Unfiltered Bachelor, the Breakdown Series. We are breaking down Dave, and I am joined, as always, with your guy, your semi-favorite. It's like semi-sweet chocolate, right? He's semi-favorite. Your neighbor with the flavor, your guy on the fly. Hey, it's Jeff.
Hey, everybody. How you doing, Blake?
Howdy ho. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Hey, Blake, can I tell you something?
Okay.
Dude, Blake, Allie's Molly. Allie is Molly, and Molly is Allie. Whatever. Do you know how long I've been waiting to do that?
Oh my god, dude! You could not have called it better since episode 1, bro. You could not have called it better, and you called it.
I mean, honestly, the main thing was obviously Molly. Even just listening to the music, listening to the song, is such a big part of Dave and his life and his transition into Lil Dicky. And I just didn't see him throwing like some random girlfriend that's only going to be there for like a half a season in. So I was just like, all right, if he's throwing a girlfriend in, it's Molly. And as it turns out, I was like, yeah, real right on that.
Yeah, it's going to be the fictionalized version of Molly. And like eventually they're going to break up before he gets big. Like if we're following if we're taking, art imitating life, right? Like that's exactly what the fuck happened in Dave's life. She leaves right before he gets real big. Man, and I'm speechless, bro. I almost cried after this episode, to be quite honest.
Oh, dude, I actually teared up.
Yeah,
when he was driving away at the end, I did. Like, I'm not gonna say I cried, but like two tears from maybe 3 from one eye and 2 from the other eye, but like a couple rolled.
Like 5 tears,
bro. I definitely was like, oh my fucking god.
Dude, and again, spoiler alert, I should say that now. If you guys have not watched this episode and you're listening to this, guess what? They break up at the end.
I don't know.
Right. It's left very ambiguous because we'll get into like every kind of whatever this, that, and the other thing. It is left a little ambiguous.
But I do gotta say, if you are unaware that there are spoilers, maybe coming in on the second to last episode of the series wasn't the best bet.
Most of these episodes you can watch with certain. You can just kind of hop, skip, step. Most of these episodes, right? But like this one, if you're not watching the season, you don't know. You gotta know what the fuck is up. You know what I mean? You gotta know the fuck.
Yeah.
So usually, drop us in, man. So you've got the IMDb facts in front of you. I'm guessing you know how hot. Huh?
That's the interesting thing. There's no trivia for this specific episode. Which, if there's ever an episode to give us some fucking trivia on, people, this is the one.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, as of right now,
there's no rating on it.
Just a day out. There is a rating, but right now the ratings only is 9.0. Which makes it the third highest rated one after Hype Man, which was a 9.3, and Hyperspitzes, which is 9.1. And I can't believe this. If I can see Hype Man being higher than this one, but I can't see this as not being number 2. So I think the fact that the episode was last night, I'm interested to see next week how this is rated. You know,
I like how they sporadically do that too. Like every couple, you kind of got some, I don't say filler episodes, but just like some more like, okay, it's a humorous show. These are humorous episodes. And then you have some of these like high impact moments. We got it with episode 3. We got it with episode 5. We got it with episode 9.
So it's interesting. It's not like a filler episode, but it is a filling out episode.
Yes.
And when I say that, I mean like filling out the characters, not trying to like fill out the show necessarily as much as trying to like, yeah. And it's interesting because this is an episode that it's you see Mike, but barely. This is Dave and Allie's episode, and I'd say it's more Allie's than Dave's.
Yes. We had been waiting for an episode like this, and so again, before we get too far into it, because we always love doing this, gonna drop some things that stick out to me, and
do it.
I only have like 2 of
You're
them.
3, man.
I only got 2 of them, but I think that they should count as 3 because you'll see. So
they're important enough.
They is important. So obviously the scene, well, I mean, not obviously, but just, okay, fuck it. Was Dave hitting the bunny, was that a signification, like a metaphor for the story that Allie tells at the end during the wedding, right? When she talks about, or during the ceremony, right? Because she talks about, oh, I thought my sister was turned into a bunny. You know what I mean? And like,
I don't think it's supposed to be an analogy for that.
I thought it was like a correlation.
I think it's supposed to be an analogy for I think a correlation, yes. Because remember, Dave was like, you know, like what are things like you guys did as a kid? And I don't think the bunny ever really left her mind. So I think like she was still thinking about the bunny. And then Dave said like, well, what are the things you did as a kid? And I think those two came together to remind her of that story. Mm-hmm. I do, however, think the bunny's a metaphor for their relationship. Yes,
that's what I was aiming. That's what I was kind of aiming at in a lot of words, and I needed to kind of fill it in. But yes, the killing of the bunny, right? Like the killing of the bunny. It's this image that Allie describes just so vividly, and so it's magic. It represents magic to her. The bunny represents magic,
dude,
and
I understand that was like a stuffed animal or some shit. I know it wasn't a real rabbit. Oh my god, dude! The cries that they were putting on the screen when Dave ran over the ears, it was worse than when he hit the fucking bunny. Like I was cringing so fucking bad. I love bunnies. They're one of my favorite animals. Like top 5 favorite animals, man. So when you just hear it crying like that, I was like dying on the inside.
I laughed my ass off when he just ran over the ears, bro, and I was just like, he fucking ran over the ears. But it is. I think we're in agreement, right? It is an analogy, like in my inquiries, yes, as a Harvard scholar, yes, a video, which I have none of that. But I think the analogy of Allie views bunnies as magic, and really in the beginning of the episode it's foreshadowing Dave kills that magic for her. Does that make sense?
It definitely is some foreshadowing. I couldn't agree with you more. It's definitely foreshadowing. And literally until you brought it up, I hadn't thought about this part. But also look at Dave's like, let's just go. It's fine. It's going to die. We'll just go. Whereas Allie's like, no, we need to kill her right now. That could also be taken as like how they look at their relationship, specifically the end of the relationship, because Dave's fine with just letting things go the way they are, and Ellie's like, no, something's not right, so there's something needs to be changed right now.
Right.
So it could also be an analogy for that, which I mean, had you not brought that up, I wouldn't have thought of that, you know?
Exactly. And then the other one I got is obviously the song, the way they mixed it from the beginning to the end. It's the beginning is the end is the beginning. It's beautiful. I thought it's very simple too. It's only one instrument. It's just like that. I think it's like a piano, and it's just like the chords that are just hitting it. Like, and to mix in, and Dave talks about it too in the episode. Like he's like, I got to export this down.
If Mr. Bird does not make that into a real song in real life, I might have to hit him. Because that was such a powerful, beautiful thing.
You know what I really wish they would do is and maybe they'll do it at the end of this, have a Dave soundtrack. There's only one song that they put out, and it's that Hi, I'm Dave, the theme song. But if they put out It'd be really cool, and they don't have to. Like, I'll still be a fan, but like, if they put on like the John song and the fucking My Dick Suck, right? Like songs from the show that like
That's
are not real
something
songs.
I've been wondering, because Dave's been saying like he wants to put out his next album around 2020, 2021 ish. And he's such a perfectionist, and like you see his perfectionist mindset coming through in this show. So I've been even thinking like, maybe that's how he's working to put out his album. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if his album was just Dave.
Yeah.
That's the title of the album.
I'd be happy with it. I'd be happy with that direction.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my two big things. And like, I mean, that's really it. Like, those are the two biggest. And I think the third one, and I didn't mark it down, but I'm going to say it just so that way we can have three things. But there is a certain vibe that's given off when Dave's at the family, and actually the scene came up now, and he's telling them that he's a real rapper, and they're all like happy for him. And the mom,
no quotes necessary.
Yeah, the mom or the sister kind of make a comment about like how Allie doesn't have kind of that ambition or whatever, and then the mom said that, right? It's like, I just wish you did more potential, or like did more. And then that comes full. I think that's what hits so hard. It didn't hit me the first time, but I think that's what hits so hard when Dave's like, you should just be, you don't have any ambition, and she's just like, what in the fuck? That's why it hits so hard. Like, I didn't think about it, but I think there's a correlation there, man. Like again, anything you thought, anything your thoughts,
I could
or anything
not
like that?
agree with you more.
Okay, perfect.
So the three things that I really took away from this. One, we've got two very different episodes going here, because we have a very funny episode.
Yes.
We have a lot of humor in this episode, and you can tell there's the undertone of Allie's being uncomfortable and her stress. And then it almost feels like it takes a hard right-hand turn, and then it goes to a very serious episode. So I found it so interesting how well they blended the very different episodes together. So that was one. Two, and this is the biggest one for me, is the biggest takeaway I got from this episode is more abstract, and it's just the acting and the writing. The quality of
so
both.
Fucking good.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, the writing alone, just from bringing the song back the way they did, and honestly, the speech, Allie's speech, and then her and Dave's fight, the writing for all of that is so amazing. So there's not a single wasted word.
No.
But then the acting.
On top of it's amazing.
My God. The emotion on Dave and Allie's face during their fight and during her speech. I mean, it's heartbreaking. It's beautiful. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing. We're going to take a real hardcore left here. How did they film the poo? Couple of things. The first. Do you know when Fear Factor first came on TV, they could not show people puking on TV? Mm-hmm. And we literally had a brown hose coming out of Dave's butt in this episode. Like, dude, I don't know how they filmed it, because clearly when he's running around in circles and he drops his pants and the log falls out, I know how they did that.
That shit was fucking hilarious.
Dude, when that part happened, I died laughing. It just happened on my screen again. But then when he goes over and he starts having diarrhea in there, and I'm like, oh man, because it's facing him, so it's you just see it between his legs. But then it's like the side shot, and dude, it looked like he was absolutely
shitting,
squirting up, squirting some hot lava. And one, man, I don't know, maybe we should roll some of these sensors back the other direction. and two, I just don't know how the fuck they filmed that. Amazing.
That's great.
Good special effects.
I was gonna say great effects. Great effects. Yeah.
On FXX.
I did look this up on the Instagram. Somebody asked this question on one of the latest posts for Dave, and they I mean, as if it needed to be confirmed, it was confirmed. It was definitely fake, but it was just like somebody was just like, that looked fucking real, and they're like, yeah, well, it wasn't.
Well, you know what the funny thing about that is, like, so they obviously like taped a contraption to Dave or something, right? Mm-hmm. And the contraption dropped it out, right?
Right.
So like when they're doing that side view, Do you know how still Dave has to be to not like move in a way that you see the contraption?
Yeah.
Which also means, do you know how many takes they may have had to do? What if that was like 30 plus takes of Dave just sitting there with his ass out?
Bro, it might have been.
Diarrhea running down his back.
It might have been. Fuck it, man. Like,
oh, dude, thinking about those things makes Hollywood even funnier to me.
Yes. It's a fucking great scene.
But I mean, so dude, I don't even know how to talk about this episode. Do you just want to like jump into it? Do you want to talk about like the funny stuff first and then the serious stuff second? Like, I just don't even know. This one is so. This is such a pivotal episode. This is such an. I don't care if you're watching Dave or not. Watch this episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's
so fucking great, man. And
this is the type of television that you hope for. You know, like you watch an entire season for a show, and this is it.
I have something to say. I raised my hand. I got something to say. And here's why.
And I'm calling on Blake.
Yes,
Mr. Moneyweather.
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Blake Weather.
Money Blake. Yes, thank you. Moneyweather is my father's name. But it is the tension that is built up. We've got tension in all directions. This whole episode is tension. Okay. It is the tension of you're already introduced to tension. It's eased, but you're introduced to tension in the first 2 minutes, 3 minutes when Dave's recording. She's like, "Hey, we gotta go." And I've really felt for Dave because I've been there before. Like, you know, when I was with my ex of 5.5 years, and I'd be doing a podcast, but we had to go somewhere, and it's like there's tension, and you try to like do your best to kill it. It's tension everywhere. That there's tension all. Even when
the way they were so cute too.
Yes.
But and it's such a cute scene. But the second Dave says, "Okay, I've got to export this," tension's right back.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's never going away.
Oh, but he's trying. He's clearly trying. You know,
it's never goes like tension never goes away in this episode. Right? They're on the road. They fucking run over a rabbit. There's tension. The family. There's tension. It's not with Dave. It's pointed at Allie. And then Dave has his own tension.
But then, since Dave's not necessarily on her side, it's part of his tension as well. You know,
right, well, yeah. And the thing that he's dealing with mostly, it's they have their own battles. The battle is themselves, and then the elements. And the elements in this case, one, it's Allie and her family, and her trying to like think. She spends the whole episode trying to like think of this toast. And the thing on Dave's side, his tension is he's got Mike bombarding him, dude. Like, hey, bro, we got to get this contract. I got you more money, bro. Like, what do you want? What are we waiting for?
Not necessarily just Mike, but also I'd say literally this decision is bombarding him too.
Yes,
you know?
yes.
And it is, as he says, it is the biggest decision of his life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not debatable at this point.
That's what makes this episode so great, though. Like in everything, it's just the tension. It's and it's so cool that it's right before the fucking end of the season, bro. It's the tension, and then it's eased with comedy, and the comedy bits are fucking hilarious in this fucking episode, dude.
Right? Absolutely. And I know we keep talking about that every fucking episode of this show. We talk about how amazing they take these serious subjects and they, you know, cut and they make it palatable with the comedy, but like it's so true, and they do it so well. And this is the best episode yet, in my personal opinion.
Okay, yeah.
And I love Gata, so that's saying a lot. It's just squeaking out Gata, and it's because of that fucking song.
Oh man, yeah, that song is everything of this episode. And
oh my god,
it's so great though because it
reminds me a lot of. Did you ever see the show Titus? Back in the day?
A long time ago. Stacey Keach played the dad, and the brother, and yada yada.
Yeah. He's putting the episodes on YouTube right now for free, which is super cool because I never saw it back then.
It's fucking hilarious.
But one thing I had heard, and that I'm confirming now, is like they're dealing with very, very serious topics, but they're doing it through the medium of humor to make it easier. And it's Dave is doing the exact same thing, man. Mm-hmm. And honestly, I think Dave's doing it better, personally.
I mean, the production value of this over Titus is just so much more. That's very sitcom-y and like yada yada. But yeah, I think the humorous moments of this, the dinner table scene where he fucking eats a carrot. That reminds me of when like somebody makes me like wants me to eat vegetables or something. Like not even just vegetables, but like, oh, you don't eat tomatoes, you ain't fucking onions, you ain't fucking lettuce. No, I don't fucking eat that. And then like, okay, I'll have a bite, and then like I do it, and I've been there before where it's just like, get out of my mouth.
But I also gotta say, I do also know grown men our age who will not eat any fruits or vegetables, any. And that's not okay.
No, but like live your life the way you want to.
You're gonna die. Yeah, but you're not gonna live it very long, man. I love cheese and meat, but if I don't throw a potato in every once in a while, just to like push all that shit out of the system, you know? Oh man. Also, but a big thing for the table scene, huge part of that, and a huge part of this episode in my mind is Allie clearly feels her family is disappointed in her, and she clearly thinks that her sister's the favorite, which also they clearly favor her sister.
Yeah. Not only is that a suspicion, it's also confirmed. Like,
Very obvious. I mean, they're hardcore insulting her for being a teacher. And honestly, it wasn't until this last watch through, the one, you know how I always have it on the background while we're talking.
Yeah.
It's this last one that I realized, oh, her family's crazy rich.
Yes.
And I realized it from the scene right before they go hiking, and you know they're outside. They clearly had breakfast outside, and Allie's talking with Dave. And like you notice, like the winery hills in the background.
They live in Napa Valley. That's not fucking cheap.
Oh, absolutely. Also, I realized like when Dave and Allie finally get there and park their car, I'm like, why did they leave their car in the middle of a street? And it's like, oh no. That's just their driveway. Their driveway looks like a random street because they have so much fucking property. But they don't think that her being a teacher, they clearly don't think it's good enough. They don't think it's a real career or anything. I mean, they're hardcore insulting her about it. They're saying she's not ambitious because of it. And now, not nearly to the extent that Allie deals with it, but I mean, I'm a middle child, dude. I always grew up feeling like I wasn't seen, or, you know, worrying that like they loved my other siblings more or something. And it's okay because now I know that I'm the favorite and that's the way it should be. But growing up, I feel like they're looking at everyone else's accomplishments and not really seeing yours. It's devastating. It can break you in a way that's so profound and subtle. So I feel like I wonder how bad things would have been if this whole conversation had come up in a different atmosphere, you know, where she didn't have the pressure of her family on top of it. And honestly, that's a big thing with this entire episode for me is she's right. She's right to be upset with Dave. Dave is putting her second. I'm not going to disagree with her there, but they've never shown her having a conversation about that with him before in this episode, in this show. And I don't think that's really fair. You know, if you like, this is clearly something that's been building for you, but you've never said anything about it. I don't think that's right either.
I think it's been building. I think we noticed, if we looked at the last episode, right, the line where she asked even Els, like, is he do you think he's going to be as big as he thinks he's going to be? Like, I think she's starting to get an air of concern.
You think it's all better though, you know?
But I mean, I think there is starting to be in the last episode, and you know, as the season has moved on, like it's gone less from like this cutesy dudesy like couple. They're still cute, whatever, but like there's more of this air of concern, man. Like there's more of this air of like instability, and it's just. You saw this coming from day one. I could see this coming bit by bit, episode by episode, sort of the thread unraveling. Whether we've seen the conversation or not, like on the show, they didn't show what they wanted to show for whatever reason. But I definitely think the signs are there for this.
Yeah,
and
that's very true.
And to add to that, to accentuate that, I was watching an interview today it was Dave or Dicky. So he's doing this whole, like, for one, Dave Bird, Lil Dicky, whatever. He was going on tour. He's been going on tour touring as Dave, not Lil Dicky. right? He's separating the two.
Very interesting.
He's been separating the two. Like he
Kind
went
of like how Gambino's the rapper, but Donald Glover is the writer and the actor.
Right. So when he's been going on tour, he went to Sway in the Morning, like back in like February or something like that, and like they were like,
Oh, that's right. I remember you saying that.
but they were like, hey, can you drop a freestyle? He's like, no, I'm not Dicky today. I'm Dave. And but he's been going everywhere, dude. And also one thing I've been noticing is he's wearing like peach. He's wearing a lot of peach or like pink. Like he's wearing that color. Like you see that color on the TV show.
Yeah.
You see him in interviews with it. I just saw one today. It was being interviewed by Trevor Noah, and he was wearing peach. And I was just like, this guy is living this character. Like he's wanting to display this, and he wants to show. Like this is all like, I'm not saying it's fake, but everything's all done on purpose. But real quick,
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yes.
About the colors.
Yeah.
We determined peach is Dave and blue is Dicky, right?
One of the two, like, right? We haven't. I don't think I've quite established which is which, but I think so, right? Like I think that's kind of the.
I just think that's interesting because I just realized that they're at the dinner table. He's wearing a peach shirt and blue shorts, so kind of equal. I think that's interesting.
And then when he goes on the hike, he's got blue shirt and kind of peach or pink shorts.
Yep.
And then it's it's funny too because that aqua color, I've noticed this a lot, is worn by Allie as well. Like she wears kind of that aqua kind of blue, like it's not.
Oh, I mean, she's wearing that sort of dress right now in the dinner scene.
I'm watching that scene right now, but it's so for me, so that good question there. But the thing I wanted to point out was he talked about his breakup with Molly.
Oh,
this was back in
really?
2015 when he released the album, right before he released the album, and he was on Sway as well. And this is the freestyle that showed you, right? Like, I like to play it cool, like I'm not that. Even Babe Ruth wouldn't call that. But he they
where
asked,
he had the cactus.
was that the one where?
I just love that he had a cactus with it. Where he had a cactus.
I think that was the second one. That was the second time he went on Sway. That's still fucking funny. But they asked him about his ex-girlfriend. At the time, I think it was still relatively fresh, but the answers that he gave on Sway were basically, she didn't like being put second. She was not the type of person that liked to be put second. She couldn't handle that. It was not fair to her. He's like, it was no love loss. It was a mutual decision. I still love her as a person, but it couldn't work. It's like, me putting rap first, like that's really what it was. And so I think this is not done yet. Like this episode is not, I mean, the episode's done.
Yeah.
This relationship, it's got one more pivotal thing to happen. And I think it's going to be like,
I think there's a reason that this issue happened in the second to last episode. I think you're right there. Mm-hmm. And I think that what we were thinking before about jail, next episode is kind of spot on. But so I have a couple of questions. I want your opinion on a few things.
yeah.
First question. Do you think this is the first time Allie's brought this up to Dave? Do you think, so first off, do you think that in the Dave universe, in the Dave TV show universe, do you think this is the first time Allie's brought it up to Dave?
Brought up like this.
Or do you think
thing?
Or do you think like she said before, like, you know, you're kind of putting rap in front of me a bit, and you know, you kind of gotta give equal attention to both, and they just haven't shown it yet.
I mean, she did it episode 1, right? Like that was her big thing. He was like, oh, he's like, did you just tell people I gave you head? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, I didn't give you head. He's like, I know. You know what I mean? It started.
Well, that was more her dealing with his rap persona than putting rap before her.
That is still putting rap before somebody. Like you're putting your persona above your relationship. You know what I mean? Like I feel like there's been signals, whether it's been this conversation, there's been little things that have like, we add them all up, we snowball effect it. We see this conversation now, and I think it's all built up. Like Allie has a lot of patience. The character of Allie has a lot of patience, and we see her like just kind of
honestly, almost too much.
Yeah, she bites her tongue a lot. And in this episode, I think it's one of those things, and I think it happens to be Unfiltered Bachelor for a bit. It happens a lot in relationships with people.
Well, I mean, that's the point of this, man.
Yes.
You know, that's why we're breaking this entire thing down.
And I love that this. I always love when there's episodes like this that deal, like, not just because, you know, there's funniness and stuff, but actually deal with real life people, relationships. And that is a thing that people do. Like, they let the resentment build up. They bite their tongue. They lash out by doing passive aggressive little shit. And then they collide. The worlds collide, and nothing is everything's unfiltered at that point. And there's no holds barred. And you end up with a situation like that where even like where Dave, like when they're done taking pictures and Dave like, so where are you going? And like, she doesn't even talk to him. She doesn't answer him.
That actually pissed me off. But so, I mean, no, it's like, obviously not Kristen Bell, Dak Shepard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously they're married and everything, but an interesting thing about them was they started seeing a couples counselor, like, just a couple months into dating, and nothing was even wrong. It was just Kristen knew that she wanted this to be a relationship that lasted and that really worked. So they made the decision together to go see a couples counselor before any of the issues started to make sure that they had a good dialogue going moving forward, so that, they didn't just stack everything up, so that instead of like having like a, hey, can we talk about this? It's boom, 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 boom. It's everything at once, Instead of like a slap across the face, it's a full-on, nuclear assault. So that actually leads me to my second question was, do you think things would have been different if Allie had, instead of building this up, had been talking to Dave about these concerns the whole time?
No, I think it would have been different. But I think it would have been slightly different, right? I think Dave would have told her in slightly different words that he still had, like, this is still, like, music is still important. I think at this instance, man, like, in a situation like this, you're with somebody and you're with them to a point, and they're only with you for a certain part of the journey. You know what I mean? Like, my dad
That's very true.
My dad has a saying, right? Like, people are, you got friends in your life for three different reasons. People for a reason, people a season, people for a lifetime. And I always equate that to relationships. And I think Allie was there for just like a reason in a season, but she's not there for the lifetime, man. She can't be, because like where Dave's path is going, it's not where, bro, like, you can't be a teacher. You can't be like doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have all these other things.
Well, but at the same time, she's freaked out at Dave, and obviously she's very upset with him and everything, but how can Dave work on these things, or even attempt to, or how can Dave have a chance to work on these things if you never let him know?
Right.
Like, so, I mean, that's a big part of this whole thing for me, is I feel like almost like Dave didn't, don't get me wrong, once again, Dave was clearly putting Allie second. And I don't know if a relationship can work if you're putting, like, I understand that this is all important, and that he was working towards a goal, which it feels like he and Mike are close to realizing. So maybe after he got that, it could have, like, eased off the gas a little bit. I don't know. I doubt it. But I feel like it's kind of unfair to Dave that he didn't seem to have the chance to maybe realize what he was doing,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if she had, I feel like maybe if he had been aware of these the entire time, he would have had options too. So, like, I'm at the point where, so maybe if he had realized, like, this is how she felt the entire time when he's at the reception, and a guy goes, yo, can we get a pic? And maybe he could have been like, I'm sorry, but, I'm here with my girl tonight, and, I'm focusing on us. But he didn't really have that option because, he had that option, but he didn't have the knowledge that this is something he should be working on.
Right.
I don't know. It's like I remember I had this one roommate, Travis, one of my favorite people on earth. He's one of the best guys I've ever known. And I got so fucking angry with him because he would never clean his goddamn plates. And I realized after we moved out, I never told him that it got on my nerves that he didn't clean his plates. So, like, how is that on him,
Right. So he never did it, but also don't be a dirty motherfucker. Like, clean your plates also.
Yes and no. Some people like to just, fill up the sink and then clean your plates. And that's kind of like what Dave's doing with the relationship.
That's a good way.
So I don't know. It's just one of those things where I wonder, it's so funny because it's like with anything in life. I'm just looking at the what ifs here, and I'm wondering, well, if this, then could this have happened? Or if that, could this have happened? And I love Dave and Allie so much. I wanted to find a way for them to work, even though I knew she was Molly. Dude, I know she's Molly, and I'm still trying to find a way for them to work. And also, I'm not a writer on the show, so it doesn't even matter.
Right. Right, but you just the cuteness of this couple is so fucking, it's so fucking great, right? Like they
balance each other out very well. Mm-hmm. They support each other in ways very well. I mean, hell, look at Hyperspids this episode. Look at how much she helped him there just by being there for him.
Yeah, like she's there to support him, man, and I think she's doing the best she can do, and I think they're doing the best given what they know about each other and what have you, right? But like,
and honestly, maybe even what they know about themselves, because I think Dave is still a very unsure person to who he is, which I can't even imagine how hard that is when you're trying to be two people at once. You know,
he's trying to grow into. He's trying to grow into himself right now. He's trying to grow into both Dicky and Dave and owning himself.
Do you know how old Dave is supposed to be at this point in time?
I mean, I still think he's like 30. I think he's his age right now, like, because right now he's 30. He just turned 30. I think he's a year younger than me. I think he's 30.
Okay, so then that makes him 25 in this episode.
Why?
Well, no, he's 32 now. So he's about 27 in this episode. Because if this episode was supposed to be, well, we'll say 26, 27. Because this episode's supposed to be when him and Allie are getting ready to break up, and then he's starting to drop his album.
That's the time frame. I think we talked about this. Like in my opinion, that's the time frame. But like, it's now. Like these are new. Like they got new iPhones and shit, bro. Like it's now. But like it's based off the storyline then.
Yeah, but I think it's supposed to be he's 5 years younger in the realm of Dave the TV show. I think he's 5 years younger than he is now. Does that make sense?
Yeah. We'll see. Because, well, you know what? They age him. They because they go back and it's 2001 or whatever, right? And he says he's in 6th grade or something like that.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a way to figure it out, but I'm just too goddamn lazy.
I think he's his age right now. Like I think he's close to 30, like between 29, 31 in the show right now. Given that he's 6th grade in 2001, because I was 99, 2000. I think I was in 6th grade. So
well, he's 2 years younger than I am. So yeah, I'm that fucking old asshole. Oh, hey, by the way, here's an important thing to bring up about this: his deal. What do you think about that? I thought it sounded good.
I mean, it's $250,000 for what you have right now, your current
which
collection.
Says it's 2 songs. Which, by the way, we still don't know what the second song is, so it might really be John.
It might really be John. Or no. I think we came to consensus. It's I ate her ass. She came. Oh, yeah, I gasped. You know what I mean?
So it's that one and My Dick Sucks, which is funny because of how much better I hate, for lack of a better name, I Hate Her Ass is so much better than My Dick Sucks.
I know.
So those 2 songs and his upcoming album, which they've already said, like, we just want you to, like, we're just here to, we're your pimp, or you're the pimp and we're your hookers or something. I don't remember how they said it.
We're your whores. Yeah, we're your whores.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you think? $250,000 for that? I mean, I thought it was a great deal.
Yeah, considering what else you got going? Like, it ain't shit else, bro. Like, this is your first album. Nobody knows if it's going to be successful. Like, you know, okay, you're going on tour, but you're not opening. You're not the main event. I mean, you're opening.
He's not even going on tour. He's done one show.
Right. I mean, but still, like, he was opening for who was it? Mac Miller, Robert? Because no. It was no. Who was it?
I forget who.
I'm trying because I can't
remember.
And I'm trying to think of the time when the mom asked, like, "Are the dude's parents going to be there?" And he's like, "Yes." The main attraction's parents, whoever's going to be. But anyways, yeah, he's opening for whoever. So like, he's not like he's known. And I think they're showing it even more. Like everywhere he goes, people start to recognize him and stuff like that. But considering you have no other music, you don't know if your album's going to sell or not because all you have is streams.
Yeah,
I'd say 250,000 that's a fair price. You know, you're giving some to your manager.
I completely agree.
You're giving what, like 5% to your manager, and you got to pay taxes on the rest. But like, you got money, you're doing good, and the label will front you, quote unquote. The label will front you. I think on like your. I don't think you have to pay for your own studio. I mean, he doesn't pay much for it anyways. But like your features and stuff, right. I think their goal is to try and get him features, and so that way he doesn't have to spend money on it. So you know, whatever way that works. But $250,000, badass deal.
The biggest part for me is they're only asking for one album. I think that is the selling point of all of this. If they had been asking, if they'd been like, all right, you know, we want 3 albums, blah, 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 and this and the other, then it's like, oh, no, this is completely fucking unreasonable. Mm-hmm. But one album for for $250K, I was like, that's great, because say you don't like how you and the label work together, you're out, you got the $250K, and even if you're not the happiest with the album, you're going to get at least 2 songs off that album that you are happy with, and that then you could take those to other labels and be like, this is what I want to make.
Yeah.
And this is what I can make when I have someone backing me, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the way I was looking at it.
Agreed. Yeah, I think it's a good deal. We'll see what he takes.
You know what I just realized?
What's that?
I just realized we don't know if he took it or not.
We don't know because he got off the phone, so we have no idea. So I was going to say, we got to make some cold predictions for the next episode. We got to make some cold banging predictions, man. We were pretty.
Do we want to do that now, or do we want to kind of go into this a bit more?
We'll go for like.
So my question to you.
Yeah, go ahead.
How do you feel about? So like you were saying, you know, the day of the wedding, they're obviously taking the pictures, and Dave's like, now don't get me wrong. When Dave said, you know, so that's the big thing with Dave and Allie's fight. I was like, all right, they can still work this out. They can still work this out. They can still work this out. Then Dave said that Allie has no ambition. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, I don't know if you can go back from that.
Yeah, that's a deep cut, bro.
That's a hard fucking cut. But then that next day, when, you know, they did the wedding, they took the pictures, and Dave's standing there, he's taking the pictures, and he's being super sweet, and he even says like, oh, so, you know, what do you want to do? And she doesn't say a fucking word and just walks off. I get that you're mad, and I get that he cut you deep and he hurt you hard, but like, if for nothing else than keeping up appearances for your sister's wedding, because it's not your day, it's her day, that seemed fucked up to me.
Yes.
And then at the reception, he's sitting at an empty fucking table, and she's not even talking to him, and that got on my nerves too. Like, and I get it. She's kind of realizing that. You can tell from her speech that she thinks that her and Dave are done. She doesn't think that there's a chance that this can be fixed. But the fact that once again she's not talking to him, that's what really fucking upset me. And by the way, the whole thing, and the funniest part about all this is, I think I'm on Allie's side throughout all this. I don't think that if someone completely dismissed, like the thing is, she's in second to Rap, but it's not like, all right, Rap's at a 10 and Allie's at like a 9.8. It's like Rap's at a 10 and Allie's at like a 5, you know? Now, don't get me wrong, there's nothing between Allie and Rap, but it's still a real long distance.
I mean, I don't feel like it's that far distant. I feel like it's more closer to like a 7.5. Facial hair.
Yeah, I can give you that.
7.5 facial hair strong. Yeah. But it's
and don't get me wrong, there's nothing between that 7.5 and that 10, but still it's a big distance.
It's gap, and like you have to, like, bro, like I don't know.
But so the thing for me is just the fact that she doesn't seem to be willing to talk to him or to work or to, like, after the blow up and the one fight, it seems like she's just done, and that fucking pissed me off.
It could be like, bro, like that's what happens in relationships, man. Some people just get fed up. Like, instead of like continuously barraging you with BBs, like they collect everything and they fucking hit you with a machine gun. You know what I mean? And like you get fucking capped.
I will say I think that a lot of my dating past is coming through with how I'm saying this and how I feel about this, because I've had, more often than not, the person who's just been like, nope, done. And it's like, can we maybe talk? And like, when I was younger, I was like, oh, okay, I guess it's done. Move on to the next person. But like, as I grew and as I got older, like, especially in like my mid-20s and shit, I was like, hey, why don't we talk and try and maybe find a way to work on this? And I mean, you think this is done, but I don't know, maybe we can think of a solution together, try that for a little bit, and then determine whether or not it's done. So that sort of thing has always kind of gotten on my nerves. And once again, I know that's also personal, but I feel it's real childish to just be like, nope, nothing's ever going to happen, so we might as well be done.
I feel like coming from my own, like applying my own personal bias to this situation. I've been with somebody like that like, dude, when me and my ex broke up at 5.5 years, one of the continuous fights we always used to have, though, was like, I'd always do too many podcasts, or I spend too much time on podcasts, or, but I had sponsors, man. I was making money and I was doing my own thing, like, with it. And like, I had a responsibility to it, and I didn't feel like I was putting it first, but I was trying to make it successful. And at the peak of it being the most successful, like Loaded Joe's, I was like on top 100 of iTunes. Like, if you typed in MMA, I was like I think the highest I ever got was like number 12 if you typed in MMA, like out of 100 people, out of 100 podcasts. And they only show 100. They only show the top 100 that are being listened to. And for like before me and my ex broke up, like December, January, that February, like, dude, I was like, that was the peak of my podcast. And I was just like, it was fucking great. I had listeners everywhere. I had fucking, the sponsors loved it. Everybody loved it. But one of the things when my ex broke up with me was, she was like, now you can do all the podcasts you want and nobody can tell you anything. And it's just like, fuck, man. Like, yeah, you're right. But also, like, I mean, I guess I've made my decision. I guess in your head, I made my decision, and you didn't get enough attention. So I feel for Dave. Like, I honestly,
I guess the question here is, though, well, no, and that's what I'm saying. I feel for Dave too, because my argument here is, what if your ex had that first time she brought that up to you, then she was just done and nothing you could say, and you're not going to talk about it. Then it's just done. The first time, like, not even give you a chance,
I mean, again, I think it's just a TV show, and they didn't show that, and it could have happened. And
I think it's real life, Blake.
We only see what we see, I suppose. But like, they could have had this conversation. It could. This doesn't. To me, it doesn't feel like it was the first time. It feels like it was the first big time, though. You know what I mean? Like the first time where it's just like.
Yeah,
I'm going.
I think you're right there.
I'm taking it from normally we're at a 4 or 5. I'm taking this to 8, 9 right now. Maybe even a goddamn 10. You know what I mean?
And you know what? I mean, the entire show is through Dave's eyes. It's Dave is obviously the narrator and the glue, and I mean the writer and the producer. Which it also surprised me that Dave wasn't the writer for this episode, by the way. So maybe it's just kind of, this is the first time Dave realizes how big of an issue it is, or how real of an issue it is to Allie.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Dave just kind of thought it was all fine in the past. Because that's the other thing, and this was the last thing I really wanted to bring up, that probably hit me the most, was when Dave's driving home after that. And he's clearly driving back to LA. Like, he's not staying there anymore. He's driving and he's listening to the auto-tune him and Allie's talk/song. So here's the thing. I wonder. It's just a theory. I don't think he and Allie have technically broken up at this point.
Right.
And I'm thinking Allie might even be willing to kind of work on it a bit. But I think when you see Dave's face there, I think he's realizing how heavy this is, how big this is, how serious Allie is. But while he's listening to it, you see, he just starts drumming on the wheel a little bit. And he just full on goes. And you see he's, in his mind, this needs to be a song. This has to get out. It has to be a song. And I think in that moment, Dave realizes he can't put this, he can't take his foot off the gas. He can't put music second.
He can't turn it off. He can't turn it off, man. Yeah. Yeah, that is a great way to put it. Yeah. And
just that look on his face, you just see like the realization.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's that moment too, like he's also going through it, like, and it's I'm sure everybody's gone through it.
It's on screen right now, so I'm just like, oh,
you feeling it. But there's that moment like when you fight with somebody that like you've been dating for a while. Like, I remember there was plenty of times where me and my ex 5.5 years, like when we fought sometimes, and I thought, I'm like, oh, this is a fucking like, is the end, you know what I mean? Like whether I'd be out with friends or something, and like we'd just get into a fight via text, or like before I'd leave or something, like, and I'm like, this is a fucking end. Like, and you kind of come with this like terms of like, this could be done. My life is forever gonna change. Like, it's this heavy weight, bro, and you're just like, fuck, like, fuck. I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? But I just got to keep moving. I got to keep going. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dude, no, I totally get you.
Heavy
mean,
metal, bro.
That's why this show's so great, and that's why it fits so well on fucking Unfiltered Bachelor, man.
This episode especially, man. Okay, let's for real hop to it. Any other questions before we get our predictions though? Any other things?
No.
We missed. We
just
skipped.
Once again, while Dave's driving away, it's just how perfect that conversation fits into it's real different later, huh?
The what?
The conversation, the song conversation.
Oh yeah,
from literally the first part of the episode, just to the end.
It's so
like
so
the
fitting.
first words you hear, you don't realize are the breakup.
And you know what? I remember watching this, and because I think me and you made our predictions, and I was sticking with this. Was part of our prediction was going to be true, where they had a fight and kind of broke up or whatever. But like in the beginning,
you called it.
I remember
Toast like goodbye.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. And but I remember thinking like, bro, like what if this conversation that he's recording, like what if because the beat's kind of sad, like it's a little sad. And I remember listening to it, and I was like, what if
very different to anything he's done thus far on the show. And
I was like, what if it sounds kind of romantic, but it also sounds sad. You could go either way. But I'm like, what if this recording right here, like I'm like, the lines in here are very like, they go either way, right? It's they're having a conversation and they're meaningless, or when you're at your lowest point, they have so much meaning. And that's what, that's why it was one of my notes right there, you know?
So I do have one last question for you. Mm-hmm. Do you think in real life, Dave has a recording of him and Molly doing something similar?
Probably. I'm going to go like a hard 80.
What if that's what we heard? What if that wasn't Taylor singing?
I think it was. I think that was.
Yeah, I do too. But I mean, anyway. All right.
Don't you be bringing those conspiracy theories around here? I'll tell you what.
Don't you be putting that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Okay, we got prediction time to make, man. We got one more episode to go.
Jail.
It's called Old Jelly Jail. I'm gonna let you start off. I started off with our top takeaways. Hit us with some hot take predictions, Jeff.
I think we've been right. I think what we've been thinking all along is what it's going to be. I think something's going to happen. Dickie's going to end up in jail, and it's going to be so. Okay, it's good. The rift between him and Allie is going to grow. It's going to come to a boiling point, and then is when Dickie's going to go to the jail. And then it's either he can call Allie or he can call someone in his rap life, probably like Mike or Gata, to bail him out. And I think like it's going to end with him walking out to whoever bailed him out, and we're not going to see who. And it's going to be that's the symbol. His symbolic choice. You know.
Okay. Interesting. Again.
So my main questions are: I don't know why he's going to go to jail. Maybe it'll be like we were thinking, like him and YG and like guns and shit. And I don't know if they're going to do it like in chronological style, or if they're going to do it from literally the episode starts with him in jail, and as like him reliving the past couple of days. Those are my two main things that I'm wondering.
Okay, I need to see this thing. I need to see this conflict with Allie. We need to see it go one way or another. So there has to be a conflict. There got to be. Right. We need a resolution. Conflict resolution with Allie. I need conflict resolution with Els. I need.
Yeah. Oh shit! I forgot about that.
I'm telling you, bro.
Well, fuck.
I need conflict resolution with Els. I need build up with Benny, like some sort of lead off. Like there got to be some sort of like cliffhanger. Like
maybe Benny's the one that bails him out.
Yeah, there's got to be something like life's going good. Jail, right? Like that is the tension breaker. That is, or right. It's a roller coaster. You're going up. You're like, wee! Oh shit, we're going down. That's got to be like for me. That's got to be it. Like it's gonna take him out of like that, all the momentum that he has built up, and he's gonna do something. Like I have a feeling like he's gonna do something fresh in jail. Whether it's like again, like his raps get him out, or somebody gonna stab him and they recognize him, or like, no, something for real.
Yeah, he's gonna get stabbed. Okay,
it's something like somebody's gonna get into a fight with him, and be like, oh wait, you little Dicky, you know so and so, or like you know what I mean. It's gonna be one of those weird instances where you're like, like ex machina type things. But there's a lot. That's a lot to take in for one episode. But I need to see the conflict between Allie, conflict between Els, wrap up with Benny Blanco, and then I need to see YG. I don't know if I'm gonna see him, but I need to see. I need to see that. Those are the three things. Those are my predictions. That's what I think is going to happen in this next episode going in. And yeah, a lot to take in for this episode, though. What's up?
Who produced his first album in real life? Who produced Professional Rapper?
I feel like Dave did.
Dave self-published it?
Yeah, I feel like he made a lot of the beats.
Okay.
Why?
No, just wondering.
Why?
Just wondering.
Hey, why, G?
I was literally just wondering because, like, if I was wondering if that would give us any hint into his decision with the offer that he had, you know?
Right. No, I got you. Yeah, in this case, it's a little bit different, but, you know, whatever. So, yeah, those are my takeaways.
I think...
my predictions?
Dude, I think... I mean, I am so fucking excited. Mm-hmm. It's already been picked up for season 2, yeah? Like, it was picked up like on episode 2 for season 2, yeah?
Was it?
I think so. I don't, hang on.
Confirm this. I need confirmation.
Confirm it. There's no way this is a one... I mean, if this is a one-season show, they're throwing money away. Dave season 2. Can't they just ever give us a straightforward answer here? I mean, I don't know. I thought it was.
I don't think it has been yet.
Dude.
But I know the more and more episodes they get into, it becomes more and more like acclaimed. Like people are like, "Holy shit, I'm catching on to it." You know what I mean?
Dude, the second link when I Google Dave season 2, Dave on track to surpass Atlanta as FX's most watched comedy series.
Yes,
so,
dude.
I mean,
you're doing something right.
Yeah, I think we're absolutely getting to season 2. I think honestly, and I think if it weren't for this whole coronavirus and just like what's going on, because how can they film it? Mm-hmm. I think we already would have had our answer.
I don't even. You know what? I don't know if this would have been as popular.
It's a good point.
I almost feel like
the world's fucking changing, man.
Right. I almost feel like this is popular because people are forced. Like, there's no sports on, right? So, like, this, when it's on Thursday and Wednesday and whatever, they don't have to compete. Like, there's less to compete with, especially, and then it's new. Like, I just feel like because of this, like, this has done this a great service to this episode or to this series. And so much so that it's going to continue for the next season. I think there will be a next season, but of course, like it's different if I fingers crossed. There's got to be though.
Oh, one last thing. You remember the server that was like, "Hey, can I get a picture with you?"
Mm-hmm.
He was a regular on the show AP Bio.
On the show, what?
AP Bio, which was on for a little. It only ran 2 seasons.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, in case you're wondering where you know that kid from. That's where.
I didn't think he looked familiar, but okay. I'm gonna take your word for it, though.
Yep. I recognized him and I had to look him up, and I was like, "Oh,
I know that guy."
But yeah, man, dude.
Yeah, another great episode, man. I will point.
I've never needed a week to be over so fast.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God! Can I just like get enough Ambien to sleep till next Thursday or some shit?
For real, dude. I want to see what is the next, like, how does this get any better? How do we end it? This is almost the same level of anticipation as like Game of Thrones as we watch it week by week.
Right. And the funny part is we know how it's going to go, but we still need to know. I mean, we know the reality. We are fans of Dave. We know what happens in real life, but we got to fucking know, man.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. He gets famous. But yeah, I want to see how they do it on the show.
I need from the last episode.
What's that?
More Gata.
I need more Gata. We need more. We need more cowbell. But yeah, man, love this episode. I'd give it a 9. I'd give it like a 9 for sure.
I'm going at least 9.2.
9.2.
Least, maybe up to a 9.4. I'd honestly have to remember what my last ratings have been.
Ooh. Ooh, yeah. I'd have to see what I did. Hype Man. I feel like that was 9.2, 9.3. So I'd give this 9, like a soft 9.0, like a hard 9.0, a soft 9.1. You know what I mean?
Dude, so for me, it's this episode, Hype Man, and then maybe Talent Show. But the thing is, the difference between this and Hype Man is like a millimeter's difference. I mean,
yeah.
If Hype Man had a song like this one did, Hype Man would be winning it, you know?
Facts on facts, dude. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Dave. Very touching, very magical. I loved it. Jeff loved it. And I hope, like, if you have any thoughts or any opinions, feel free to just email us, unfilteredbachelor@gmail.com. Jeff, before we get out of here, where can people find and follow you?
You can find me curled up on my couch with a box full of tissue, rewatching this episode on repeat. And if you've been watching Dave, you can also find me at Don Cheadle's driveway at LilDicky2.com on Skype. You try and find me on Facebook, and as long as you stay 6 feet away from me, you can find me in public.
That's right. Get down with the get down. Everybody go follow Jeff. You can follow the podcast, Unfiltered Bachelor, gmail.com. Like I said, feel free to email us any thoughts about this episode. I just want to repeat that. Like, this is a powerful episode. Follow us, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can follow me, Money Blake Weather. Just type that in there, Money, Blake, and then Weather. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. You can follow the podcast, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are. That's where we are. If you have a favorite podcast app, go ahead and type us in, Unfiltered Bachelor. Check out the Atlanta series that we have. We just dropped a few episodes of that this week. And also feel free to check out the rest of the Unfiltered Bachelor, just like normal day-to-day podcasts, week-by-week podcasts. The Dave episodes, you can find these. I'm going to try. I had a schedule put up, and I think for the Unfiltered Bachelor episodes, it's going to be every Monday. The Atlanta shows are going to be every Tuesday. And I was going to do the Dave episodes every like Sunday, but since we're recording on Thursday now, we switched it up. Try and have these out by the next day, Friday. So if you're listening to this, hopefully it's Friday.
And well, also remember, brother, we only got one left. So if you want, we can do it next Thursday, you know, so. We
are going to do this next Thursday. We're going to have to.
Yeah.
There will be no other way.
I think so. I don't think we can wait. I think we need our answers.
There is no other way. But yeah,
agreed.
Feel free to follow the show. Thank y'all so much. Tell a friend to tell their friend to share, write a review, hit the like button wherever you see this. Thank y'all so much, whether it's morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time you're listening to us. We appreciate you. We love you. Thank you. Be safe. Stay corona free. And until the next time, we will see you. Peace.